Good evening, everybody. How are you doing this fine and lovely, darling, dark evening? Because god dang, it is dark out. It got dark at 4:30. I don't like that, guys. I don't like that. Listen, I love me my winter time. I really do. But when the sky decides, hey, it's 3:30 right now, we're going to start making it very, very dim and very, very darker than usual. And then by the time 4:30 rolls around, it's just nighttime. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I've got to see everybody here. I hope you all had a wonderful week last week. And I hope you're having a good start to your week this week as well. Welcome to Neb and to Bedroom Gaming. Good to see you guys are keeping yourselves busy. And good to see y'all here. I need a drink already. This is telling me something. Right? It's only 6 o'clock here. And I look outside the window and I feel it's like 8 o'clock. I love wintertime. I really do. I love seeing the snow. I love seeing the leaves fall. But by gosh, I cannot stand that darkness. Don't like it at all one bit. I should move to Arizona so I just don't experience it at all. But I hope everyone's having a good evening. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to kind of try to keep things chill, but exciting around here. I recently got my flu shot, just today actually. So I'm feeling just a tiny bit lethargic. However, I'm still down for some great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I'm down to see whatever the hell's going to be going on in this next case, because I certainly don't know. I just know that there's apparently a murder stagecoach that we have to look into. Could there have been a drive-by back in the old 1900s? Maybe. Who knows? I'm ready to see, though. I'm ready to find out. And if I'm correct, there's something new that is supposed to start happening for this particular case that we ended on last. Something like that. Hello, Cherry. Welcome to you. Hey, I hope your concert was awesome last night. I saw the pictures you posted in Discord, Cherry. They looked really, really cool. So I hope you had a good time. Alright, yeah. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. Or the one I like to call the adventure of the first drive-by. You went all the way to North Carolina during the weekend so you can go to your friends. Ooh, nice, Neb. I've been to North Carolina before. It's a very pretty state. My weekend, oh god, guys, let me tell you. My weekend was filled with a lot of food, and I mean a lot of food. I had a friend come over with a homemade cake that she made just for the birthday celebration that happened this past weekend. So there was that, and we went over to the Asian market, so I got a lot of food at the Asian market. And then on top of it all, we spent the weekend as a relaxation day. Like, we went to a spa, and the spa had saunas, it had an infinity pool, it had massages. Good God, it was something completely different. Something that I usually don't do when I go and do celebrations with people, or when we come to hang out. Usually I like the stuff like hiking or biking or going to arcades or something where I'm moving my body and I'm just getting around and doing stuff. But like this was like a step back from what I usually do, and I actually relaxed for a whole entire weekend. And let me tell you, it was the best thing that I've had in a while. I needed it. My friends needed it. My roommate needed it especially. Oh my gosh. It was like I was treating myself. And let me tell you, this place that we went to was so freaking bougie. So freaking bougie. It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. Cost a lot to get in though, let me tell you. But it was like a once a year kind of thing I probably would do. It was really, really great. It's a great way for a birthday celebration though, I have to say. I'm glad Starset didn't disappoint you there, Cherry. Alright, So, last time that we were here, all of these jurors decided to throw their flame into the fire, and now we're like, wait a second, but we can challenge their findings and see if something complicates the other. So I don't know what's going to be happening here, but I'm kind of curious to see this new game mechanic, not going to lie. It was filled with emotions, a number of people that were all there to remember my... Oh, that's really good, Neb. That's a damn good send-off to have for your friend, and I'm glad you and the others had a really great time with that. Really, really glad about that. You asked that, Sherry, but I need to know, is that rose real? Is that flower actually real, or is it just synthetic? Well, mister, since you're so proud and posh about your flower, I'm going to say there was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence.
And then there's this guy who, please don't stab the other juror, my man. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Highly doubt that. Now this guy, my man with the mustache. With the magnet-looking mustache, mind you. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. Oh God, you're ready to stab someone too.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief.
So I don't know what I got from any of that, but okay. Sir Topham Hat. That's a name that I haven't heard in years. I've not heard that name in years, Bedroom Gaming. You just made me flash back to childhood for a second.
I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they?
No shit there, sus! Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Don't curse, Ryunosuke. Don't curse, please.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. You are not allowed to say any of the following words in your persuasive language. I have it written in my book here. According to this book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh? I wonder who this guy is the ancestor of. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's Miles Edgeworth. It's the ancestor Miles Edgeworth. That's the theory we're going with, Cherry. I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. You know, spin a web, spin a tail, make them all goo goo gaga or something.
Unfortunately, goo goo gaga is not a word that has been invented yet. Once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says.
But then...
They've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses.
Then what's the point? I'm trying to get this defendant up here, then what's the point? Hello, Shady. Goodbye, Shady. I hope you're lurking well. And I hope you're doing well too, buddy. It's been a while since I've talked to you. And I meant to answer your DM on Discord, believe me, I did, but I got caught in a lot of other things, let me tell you.
In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entranced they may become.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh. I didn't think this through, I guess. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right. I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work, then? You could have kept the book out, Susato, but okay. Seems like Giovanni has Shadow Lugia in Poke-Go. I have not played Pokemon Go in a while. I have not touched Pokemon Go in a while. And I can guarantee you there's probably a bunch of presents from friends that are sitting in there. For months as well.
The key to this procedure is using the juror's own words to make your arguments.
So what, I have to like copy-paste some of their words into my statements? What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public.
All with characters of their own, mind you.
They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
That's what it was called! I have been trying to figure out for the past 20 minutes what this game mechanic was called. And I didn't want to say a different word that I know was definitely wrong. But thank you, CB. We are going through the summation examination. And welcome, CB. Hope you're having a good night. Because it is night out. It's definitely night. It got dark at 4 o'clock. And when that happens, it's nighttime. And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
You know, I'm surprised that book doesn't fall out of her sleeve. What, does she have like a hidden pocket in that Komodo of hers?
We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
Oh, so we're gonna make them fight each other! Hey! I mean, if there's gonna be fisticuffs involved in this, hey, I'm down for that. I'm down for that, Susato. You just should have said that from the beginning. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. Listen, that 3rd juror is ready to stab somebody. And so is the old granny. I would love it if I could just get that guy to just go tick, tick, tick on someone. It will make for a very, very exciting jury. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh! Yes, I suppose you're right.
Breathe, boy. Wait a second. Hold on. Zoom it on the eye. I see a little white. I see a little white. You trying to poke, trying to like peek out there? Peek there? Naruhodo or something? He didn't fully close with his eye with his eyebrow. I see that little streak of white. That's kind of funny. Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. From the inside out. Got it! Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No! That's not right! Why am I thinking about murder here? I shouldn't. I have to pull this off. Boom! Can we start proceedings, counsel? I will ask you to take the stand for this. I am expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Whoa. Jury examination. Oh boy, the defense's rebuttal. I love how we see the 3 in the background, though. Oh boy. Okay, there's no one in the carriage. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Okay. The 8-seater omnibus that was the scene of the crime. There were passengers both inside the carriage and on the roof of the deck that night. We have 3 witnesses, and, 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Wait a second. That's the ledger. It's an 8-seater, that's right. We have the 3 witnesses. We have the guy who was killed. And then we have our defendant. So that's technically 5, if I'm correct. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Stuck the child next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say, absolutely brazen. Wasn't there a juror who said the bus fare hasn't been more than 4 pence? That's what I'm thinking here. This guy. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. Okay, the scoundrel stabbed that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. Okay. So this guy is saying nothing has been raised above 4 pence. And then we had her who is saying, okay, it seems 4 passengers affairs, 4, 12, 16. Okay. So, if I'm correct, if she's saying 4 passengers would equal 20 pence, there's something not right there. Because 4 times 4 is 16, not 20. Yeah, if 4 passengers are 20 pence, it'd be 5 pence indeed. So, how in the world do I do this? I can press! Hold on. I want to see what I can do by pressing. I just want to see this. But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is? I manage all his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts. I see. A single penny can mean the difference between life and death after all, can't it? That's a saying in your country? My point is, a man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to that, sir. Does that bench really need any more polishing? So if the good driver says that he saw Mr. McGilded in the act, I don't doubt him. The only task left to do is disposing of the rubbish. Now wait a minute. One of the other jurors mentioned something about money, I think. Now would be a very good time to listen carefully to the jurors' statements again, Mr. Naruhodo. If you notice an inconsistency in what 2 different jurors are saying, I should expose it by pitting them against each other and having them engage in fisticuffs. Yeah! Let's see if I can do just that! No, Mr. Naruhodo, you're not supposed to engage in fisticuffs. No. They're gonna be engaging in fisticuffs, Susato. It'll be a real fight for the ages. Alright. Let me press you here, boy. That's how much it costs to take the omnibus. That's right. As the guild master, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. 1 fare, no matter which bus you take or how far you're going. Hey, buddy, what you got in that flask there? Do you have any adult beverages I can take a sip on? And why are you even allowed that in the court? Why do you have alcohol, or supposed alcohol, in a courtroom setting? There's a free-for-all here, I guess. He brings in alcohol, the other guy has a knife there's a dagger who's just gonna stab people, and then there's Grandma over there who just wants to neck them. Jeez. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. Motor cars, you say? Yes, And this murder on one of our buses is extremely damaging to our cause. It's beyond the pale. Don't spill it there, man. It'll lead to a decline in passengers, you mark my words. And it's all that rascal's fault. He has to pay. It's the crime or his buses he's more worried about. Anyway, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. Ha! So, the driver says he saw him do it. That fellow in the dock is as guilty as sin. Hi, Grandma. Please don't stab me with one of your knitting forks. I beg you. Grandma, if Grandma's the true mastermind behind this, I'll be thoroughly surprised. By the way, Arthur Nato, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the party. Glad to have you here as well. Alright, so, I'm guessing... You know what? I'm just gonna freaking do this real quick. I'm gonna do this really quick. Whoop. I'm gonna save just in case. Alright, so... We pit you. There was no one else inside the carriage at that time, so it has to have been him. I trust the juror. Yo, I love the spotlight effects on this. This is neat. Okay, so I think it's gonna be these two.
Objection.
And I think I'm right! Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, counsel! Me? Oh dear. What have I said? I swear on Silver Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far... Okay, can I just appreciate that there's movement? He's moving around. I like this. He's not being at a standstill. There were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And, according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right! I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is! A fair and convenient single price. Just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all, you see, juror number 5. I'm just gonna call you juror number 5 because I don't even know any of your names. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? Well, 4 passengers paying 4 pence each, if you do the multiplication right. I swear I'm good at math, guys. Ah! It would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact, or precisely 1 per... You know what? He's got the Phoenix smirk, guys. That's the Phoenix smirk right there. He's got it. That's your ancestor there, Mr. Wright. Every case is relevant to the overall story in some way. I can't wait. This is already proving to be very, very good. Like, very, very good. Also, I enjoy the fact that it deals kind of with real-world troubles and problems around the time. I know people may be turned off by, you know, some of the things that happen in this game. Like, a lot of... You know where I'm going with this. But I think that kind of adds to it in a way. It just kind of makes you realize that that's what things were like back then. That's what people were like back then. So that's my thing about it. But, other than that, I love the gameplay of this. It's just really, really good. Oh, break that desk, Ryunosuke! Yeah! Yes! In other words, on the omnibus that night. It's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about! Gasp! His wig! It fell! This can't be right! The coachman of the guild are good, honest men, one and all! Trustworthiness is our watchword!
Tisk, 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 she says. The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon? Grumble, grumble, grumble. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. How much complete jarble can I get out of this man's mouth while I voice him, guys? Let's see. Alright then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end?
Hook, line, and sinker, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of...
I like to imagine that this game confirms the fact that, hey, back in London, during these times, if you were part of a jury, you randomly had temporary fire powers. And you could summon a fireball straight out of your hands and throw it on the scale. But it's only temporary. As soon as you step out of the courthouse, that power is simply gone. And people won't believe you that exists. They have to see it with their own two eyes, or experience it by being part of a jury. If we had that nowadays in courts, I would be more than happy to try to get into a jury. Give me temporary fire powers, why don't ya? So yeah, launch a fireball to the innocent side of the scales, and you're good to go. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Bippo! Boom! Yeah! This is very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same.
Oh, shit! We got 2 innocents! Let's go! Here's all the science and logic in events and actions accurate to the time. Also, fireballs. 'Cause why not? Add a little fantasy flair in there. For the love of Micah! Not you as well?
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all.
You know, it'd be nice if you could do that at the same time, Miss Juror number 2. Can you emote at all?
I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo! You did it!
Yeah! I got 2 of them at least!
If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
I don't need temporary fire powers, Jerry. Are you saying that I should have permanent fire powers? Because if that were to happen, then you know the first thing that I would do. Because it's greatly, greatly encouraged by this chat every single time I'm here. See? I didn't even need to say it. I didn't even need to say it, and CB already knows. You guys and your arson, I will never understand. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
Then that's where you must strike next.
So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it.
Oh, if only Mr. Herlock Sholmes saw me now. You say Dana no, but to me, that sounds like Dana yes. Sorry about that, sorry. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Oh boy, are they gonna change things up now?
I'm changing my leaning to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself.
He stuck the chap next to him just like this! Brazen, I must say, brazen! Okay. Collate all statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Yeah, what's your step? What's your change here? Excuse me. This trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption! Not guilty, I say! Okay, stand that poor man on the floor and beggars wait. Wait! Hold on. Stabbing that poor man on the floor. The knife design was clearly visible, but his face is partially obscured from the view by an old hat. Okay, but he didn't get stabbed on the floor, he got stabbed on the chair. So, lady, there's something going on with you over there. Let me check this guy again. There's no one else inside the carrot. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. See, but then... No, but then the thing is, what is this guy saying? He's saying there was no one else inside the carriage at the time? Well, I want to press with. I want to know what this guy means. Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim and Mr. McGilded were alone inside the carriage. Okay, inside, yes. Precisely my point! But, could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet? Such as? I've got no idea! Well, perhaps something we could, all work out together now? Now listen here, maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we're here to form our opinions as individuals, and I have.
Oh dear. He doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he?
No. I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another, like Susato-san said. Finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm going to succeed. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna wait for happy stabby man over there. I want to see what Grandma has to say. Because there's something wrong with her statement. You like the sound design? Every action has a sound no matter how small. Yes! I like that too, CD. That's another thing I really, really like about this. I really think you should stop waving that needle around.
You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow, just like this.
Oh God, Grandma's aggressively stabbing that desk. Yes, that is what he said. You're right.
Gilded Park is such a lovely little place, too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on with my knitting. And I had thought that anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong.
Sad, Grandma.
Whoever would have thought he was a miserable, murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse?
Oh, well, she's knitting aggressively right at me. She's as sure can be that he's guilty now.
The old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she?
That Grandma would definitely fall for scam calls. Definitely 100%.
So, we just need to find 2 jurors with contradictory statements and pit them against each other. Which is so much easier said than done.
Wait, why is Susato saying this when she's looking at me?
Is that perhaps what you were just thinking?
Did you just read my mind?
Don't you know, I have a little telepathy in me. But I also took the liberty of doing some research, in case you happen to find yourself in just a situation. Shall I read you what I found out? It is a little long, I'm afraid.
Ooh. You found info? And before Susato was actually somehow tied to the Fae clan? I know, right? Oh, go ahead. I'm curious.
Very well. Listen to this.
Oh, wait. Is this pretty much her telling me, like, okay, this is how the summation examination goes? Okay, yeah. Counts for defendants should use. Okay, yep. Yeah. Okay, so you're basically just giving me a tutorial on, like, yeah, this is what you gotta do. This is what you gotta do. Gotcha. You cannot choose the assert. Okay. Okay, that's actually really good to note. So I don't have to do anything with juror number 2 and juror number 5. Got it. So those 2 are set. So it's just focusing on 1, 3, 4, and 6. Okay. Alright. Oh, it wasn't that long. It wasn't that long, Mr. Ryunosuke. Okay. So we heard from 1 and we heard from 6. So I never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again?
That's the spirit! You don't want to listen to my long and boring explanations at all, Mr. Naruhodo!
Okay, so we already have your stance. We already heard number 6 over there. Yeah, let's try, Dagger Happy Man over here, why don't we?
Hold it!
Careful, you could hurt somebody with that! You're a fine one to talk. Look at that sword hanging from your waist, hmm? No. That's just my battered soul, or the battered soul of a friend of mine, but still. Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. They're all the same, all stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes. You mark my words.
Objection!
Objection? Excuse me, sir, that sword is my dead boyfriend, actually, so don't you go and be insulting my dead boyfriend. I don't know why I'm doing this, Susato. What does this even mean? This is not even invented at this time. That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? Are you mad, man? We know that small shorty is a rotten Shylock. Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but
Mr. Naruhodo, please, be careful what you say.
If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us, less fortunate than us, far as I'm concerned. He's as guilty as sin. The man can hang. I see you're having some difficulty trying to get that dagger out of your desk. Come to think of it. Didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhand activities?
If you've thought of something, Mr. Naruhodo, don't let it go. Test your theory.
Let them fight. Oh my god, wait, can we make Mr. Stabby and Grandma fight though? No time like the present to use this button to pit them against each other. I don't know what this button is supposed to mean, but... Oh my god, please, I wanna know who would win in the fight. Grandma or Mr. Stabby Man? Alright, I'm gonna do, again, the safe thing and save, because I'm a little wussy, and I want to make sure I have full health for this. Alright, so, pitting you... yeah, that's really nice that the other two are out of commission for this. Alright! So the chub next to him like this. Brazen MSA. Objection! Yes! Stabby Man versus Grandma, let's go! Those two statements are completely contradictory. I challenge you two to duke it out! In a fight! Because apparently both of you like to stab things in here. What? Explain, counsel, post haste!
Oh, dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
Oh, Grandma's got a heart. That too. Once the stab happened on the floor, and then this guy said, "Oh yeah, it happened on the side." When, as you can clearly see, the stabbing came from the other side of the carriage. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? Well, I thought you were such a prim and proper gentleman who was well educated, but apparently not. You just like to stab things. We've heard from more than one witness. Hello, Em, welcome to chat. That they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3, Mr. Stabby Happy Man. What? Can't you see that I'm busy here trying to get this knife out of the desk? Sorry there, my lord. I didn't mean to stab your desk like this. How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to test me, do ya? It was like this! Stuck the fella next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Boom. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Can I call you Grandma, please?
Oh, sure, dearie. I don't mind. What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? Oh, look at you being a great gentleman, Ryunosuke, calling him a madame.
Oh, well, dearie, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move! Stay right in place! That includes me. I cannot move at all. I'm supposed to continue pointing my finger at you. Take a look at these two jurors. He sucked the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never! They're stabbing in totally different directions. And in my furniture too! What?
Burst my stitches, what a muddle!
What a muddle, she says. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh.
But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is, if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I should say, ladies and gentlemen and other variations thereof of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me, did I fall for another one of those delightful scams? Oh, I thought the boys who come to my door with their brochure saying, "Would you like to talk about the Lord Jesus with you?" were all so nice. But I can't abide people telling lies to little old me.
Summon the fire powers, Grandma. The scales. Someone else hold it. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him! In his black suit, he's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on all of us. And yet you're able to summon fire to put on the scales. That sounds like a bunch of hocus pocus to me, my dude, but go off, I guess. You can summon fire from your own seats. And here I am, saying, oh, I have a sword in here and it has my dead boyfriend's life source in it or something. Yeah, sure. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? I'd probably just put a truth serum on all of you. Whoa! Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Listen, League of Legends hasn't been invented yet, my dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh? Me?
What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's see. The Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus. And this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, hmm? Who you're calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you! If I could just pry it out of this wood.
Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
God, bless her for being so violent. You go, Grandma, you go. You just stab that guy with your needle. You do it. Oh, they're ready to kill each other now.
But don't you understand, Mr. Naruhodo? This is the whole point of pitting the jurors against each other.
So you're really saying it is fisticuffs there, Miss Susato? Yes, it is real fisticuffs, Mr. Naruhodo. Fix your sash. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? But was a person inside, there was a person on top. They were all on top. The evidence there says otherwise. I think it's a solid question. That's what I want to say. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dog jinx? Come on! Out with it! Ugh! What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable, hard evidence. As you wish. What? That's supposed to be some reference or something? No, I was just saying, I'll give you proof. The two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by... Okay, let me see the autopsy report again. It's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see examine. Stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife whilst journeying in an omnibus. Died due to internal hemorrhage resulting from the trauma. But yeah, that seems pretty obvious to me.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. Not updated, mind you. According to what's written here, Mr. Manson was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Blech! Only once? Ha! It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Sorry, there's my pointer finger. They couldn't have seen it two different times. By the way, everybody, I actually wanted to show you something real quick. Now that we're here in an objection standpoint, I got a little kind of birthday present from one of my roommates. And I think you guys might enjoy seeing it. So, this was actually something that I got after I came home from my last vacation. But, my roommate got me this. Their own makeshift Megatama. That was apparently supposed to be used for a Maya cosplay that one of his friends was doing a while back. And he found it and said I can have it. So, I got my own little, Maya Magatama here with me. It just needs to be painted. But it's really neat. And it makes me actually consider doing a Maya cosplay. It's going to take a lot of time to do that, but at least I got one of these guys down. It's really, really neat, though. It was all handmade, too. Like, this is all modeling clay here. Really, really cool. All right. Okay. Sorry to keep you in the objection disposition there, Ryunosuke, but I had an important thing to show my chat. Wait, did the knife just disappear? Where'd it go? It's not in his hand. Okay, Mr. Juror, you're calling me a dark jinx, but now here's juror number 3 doing magic tricks. Where the heck did his dagger go? Now, would you look at that? Ya did it! Wait, That means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won!
The first round? Yeah, how you doing over there, Dracula, yeah? How you doing over there? What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap, or else you're gonna get this dagger straight through your own gut. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop... What the hell? Really? Why are you doing it so seductively? Why? I'll say... No, hold on. I got a good way to say this, because he's still talking. I'll play this laser fall blade and see every last hair off his head. My man, please! Please tell me he's a barber! I can't believe that. He's a really a stabby boy then when he does shit like that. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. And the trial must continue. He's still licking it, by the way, guys! Did you see that? Juror number 3 was still licking the damn knife! Sir, please! You kept stabbing that in the wood! Who knows what kind of germs are on there? My man! I know you must be some kind of stabby happy, but please! You're in a public space. Do that kinky shit when you're at home. I'm going to ignore what I'm still seeing down in the jury section for the moment and say, I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. Ba-da-da-do-da-dun. Ba-da-da-do-da-dun. So, Lord Van Zykes, I forgot to continue. I forgot that you were over there for, like, half of all of this. Continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Oh God, the man with his wine! The man with his wine! Yeah? Yes, can I help you, sir? Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, I think he's pissed, guys. I think we might have made him a little bit mad. Just a little bit. You want to hear something weird and funny you overheard from your mom say the other day? Sure, go right ahead. I hope you have a replacement for that chalice there, Mr. Dracula. Oh, absolutely. Cherry, yes. He is known as the vampire of the court. I keep calling him Dracula. He looks like Dracula. He sounds like it in my head, and he definitely acts like it. And he's dressed like it too. Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice. Numa, I'm not surprised that's from you. I'm not surprised in the slightest that you think he is hot, because not gonna lie, he kinda is. I mean, don't get me wrong, he kinda is. It may seem crass to crush it to dust, Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes! Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tune no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Yeah, you did! Yeah, you did! Kid from Japan? Yeah, you did! Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence, after all? Oh, we're getting the slow zoom, guys, the slow zoom! So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Oh! Oh, the cape is off! The cape is off, everybody! He's getting down with it. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Okay, like, not gonna lie though, dude, even though the time period as is, he's got a nice shaped body. I'm just saying. I'm speaking my mind. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir! That I did, sir! Okay, but honestly speaking, yes, out of all the boys that I've seen so far, no one has beaten Kazuma. Kazuma is my light, my darling, my good, precious boy. I love Kazuma, and I miss him! I miss him so much. Of course I heard. Oh, yes, sir. I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the couchman. I believe it's Beppo. Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus. Also, hold on, I went to see. Don't know the context for this, but out of nowhere, I heard my mom say we should get my sister's name a Japanese boyfriend pillow. CB? Considering the fact that I have my first Japanese boyfriend pillow. That's really funny to hear, though. From your mom, nonetheless. Because I have to wonder, how does she know about that? Have you said anything about Japanese boyfriend pillows to her at all? I have to say it here. I love it when, like, older generations say a bunch of terms that you think only millennials and younger generation would say. And they know what it means, too. It's really, really funny. But it's also really, really sweet, too, when they know that. You will... Oh, jeez. Coachman's gonna be found guilty of perjury. Perjury, Mr. Beppo! Perjury, I say! Oh, mio Dio! Now then, witnesses! I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Witnesses' testimony, various misgivings. All right, Beppo. I only carried for
four passengers that night. I swear it, but
Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He fitted us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
I tell you, I solemnly gilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes. He says that stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so. Yes.
All right. Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. Because I certainly don't know what's going on. The Phantom? Oh my god. Buddy boy, you made me think something different with those 2 words there. I thought there was something different and I was gonna scream again. I was really going to scream. Really, really bad. Really bad. It's gonna steal your pants is what's gonna happen. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. Okay. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little... Oh, how do you pronounce that? Cozenage? I'm gonna say that. I have not seen that word before, so... Ah! It's too much fun with this voice I chose for this guy. It really is. Explain yourself. I'm terribly sorry. Get, master. The goat's fare is 4 pence across the board, has you? You know that? I am to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny fare? I understand you through your babblings there, Mr. Guildmaster, but it's so cold, and the last round of the day is always half empty. Someone please explain to me what the heck they're saying, because I have no idea what it is. You have been dishonest, though, coachman, from what little I can hear. I'm so sorry. You're a disgrace! A disgrace! Rada. And your selfish actions have brought on dishonor to the entire guild! If I may, sir. If I may interpret you, sir. Oh my god. I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. 10 pence? Holy shit! What? Keep the bothering up for that dude, you're going to sound like a rabid dog. Oh my god. 4 passengers at 5 pence each is... Yes, 20 pence. The Guildmaster seems like someone who would be in Scooby-Doo. And I was going to away with you too! If it was for your meddling kids and your dumb dog! I've done the arithmetic 10 times already in my head, but I just can't make the results come out differently. No, that adds up. That adds up. Yeah, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense. Your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. What does parlor games mean, sir? But I'm gonna say absolutely to that neither way. Alright, cross-examination! So you carried 4 passengers that night, you swear it. You was told you had to pay 5 pence for the bus, okay. I'm just gonna start pressing guys now.
Hold it!
Excuse me, hold it. So there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence price. Is that right? Okay, yep. Oh my god, I forgot he had the whip! Why does everybody in this jury, in this freaking trial here, have something that could potentially harm another person? We have a dagger, we have a needle, we have a whip. I'm ready for somebody to pull out another weapon at will. Not my sword, though. My sword stays where it is. Unless the divine intercession of Cosmo comes to me and says I must pull it out. It's impossible to make the last run of the day, It was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself passing out. I'm getting chilblains just listening to you. It was terrible. So I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Dedicated coachman deserve an extra passenger. I really want Beppo to be like, I'm a scat man. Passenger. Passenger. It's gonna be stuck in my head now, you. Thanks, CB. It's gonna be stuck in my head now. Buddy, you know you're just digging a deeper hole for yourself there, the more you say this, right? If only there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night. Then we would have had another suspect. Yeah, you paid for had to pay 5 pence for the bus, you said. Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence? Oh my god. So you want me to do Scatman, right? Alright, fine. I'll do a shortened version for you. Only a shortened version. I can't believe I was able to make that sound actually really good with the kazoo. Thank you for the channel points, though, CB. I appreciate the chaos that you always like to bring to the channel. Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir. this guy didn't say anything. And I just told you that I did too.
5 pence across the board.
It's not something to be proud of.
The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone, dead and buried. I'd have been happy if it had ever existed in the first place!
Alright. He fiddled us on the fair, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
Hold it!
This blood-curdling sight. You mean the murder, I presume?
Yes, sir.
A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken.
Oh, well, not exactly, sir.
Yeah?
I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed.
Okay, no reactions out of these guys. Good gracious! Really? Oh, thank you for clipping it too, CB. Thank you so much.
We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it.
But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant.
I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see? That's when I looked through the glass.
Right?
That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out from his belly.
All covered in blood. Wait, what? Wait. The belly? Okay, alright. That's accurate. It wasn't the abdomen. You're right.
Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating.
Okay, then how come she didn't scream when the juror over there had a freaking dagger as well? So Mr. McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands true.
Hold it!
Okay. This man definitely got some hard trauma from that incident. Poor boy, and he looks really young too, actually. How old is he? 62, 34, 21! An apprentice millionaire who witnessed the incident from his seat on the roof deck of the omnibus. Man, 21? You're gonna be... So sorry, boy. So sorry, man. That's gonna be with you for a while now. So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Manson, who was sitting next to him? That's what I said, isn't it? Yes, clearly. It was bothering me before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there?
There's been much talk of a fifth passenger, but as of yet, zero evidence.
Then what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white! The man's guilty! Damn, you leaning on that desk hard there, Ryunosuke! What you figuring? What you thinking, my boo? My boo? Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. I think so, yes. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. You saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. I didn't mean to touch that! My bad. I meant to go and examine the evidence. Yes, okay, Mr. Fatash, black and white, the man's guilty. And yeah, you noticed something... You noticed something off about that. So let me back up. Let me see... see. I don't want to present anything just yet, but... What do we have right now? You saw McGilded stabbing the man. Everything I said before stands. Tons of bloodstain. The largest knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Its quality and fancy ornamentation suggests it must be quite valuable. Did I even look at this yet? I don't think I did. Can I? Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I looked at this before yet. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry.
Oh dear, do you really think we ought to look inside?
Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps.
Actually, I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Holmes' name inside.
Well, let's see what we find. Yeah, I didn't even look at this yet. Uh-huh.
Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off.
Oh! Goodness!
What is it?
Look at this! Do you see the name here?
Oh! So look at that! So Mr. Fairplay is in the ledger! Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually.
Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, of course. Yeah, the banker. Wait, why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching.
It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course. But this could be very useful information.
See, it's a good damn thing I looked at this ledger then. Holy shit. Thank God. Nice job, me. Nice job, me. Alright. I'm guessing this side's gonna be the same, right? Yep. So that's pretty much the same then. Got it! Okay, give me a second here, though. Because I know he's something else before. Alright, I'll try you on here, Mr. Fairplay. But something ain't smelling right for sure with your statement. Alright, let's go for it. I'm gonna try this.
Objection!
Or maybe not. Maybe it wasn't here. That reveals a damning inconsistency, that last statement. Damning, you say? As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand, your pallid expression, and your perspiring brow. Huh? It seems to me that is the damning inconsistency here, with the misplaced confidence of your assertion.
He has a damning tongue.
You invite it, sir. It's all your fault, after all. Okay. So, it's not that. Everything I said before stands. So then what else can we do? This, obviously. Okay, among the defendant's list of debtors is Bruce Fairplay, who would have been due to repay his loan imminently. Yeah, Santa Judge is judging me hard, making sure that I get the truth out. Let me see, so... If I remember correct... This is where you're looking through all of that. So the defendant, Mr. McGill, stabbed the victim. That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. There's only two of them inside the carriage. passenger. Then what are we waiting for? Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Oh, is it one of those things where I do have to press everything? Okay. Let's try that out then.
Hold it!
That was gonna be my other go-to, because sometimes I know if you press everything, sometimes it does a refresher. Earlier, you justified and testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's quite right, yes.
Well, according to these papers that I randomly have in my hands, you said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip. Look at him trembling in his little hands.
I suppose I might have, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe.
Maybe. What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a screaming from the seats on the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight.
Skylight, he says.
The gentleman was on the floor, and then the knife was sticking out of his midriff. That's right, yes. And the fella holding the handle was the famous man. Yes, indubitably, yes.
So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. Oh, now you stop shivering.
I really thought that I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I?
Whoa, hello, sir. Can I help you?
Excuse me.
What are you doing with your teeth? Are you trying to break a cane with your teeth alone? My shivering man's voice is incredible. Oh, thank you, Arthur Nato. I love voicing the characters for Ace Attorney games. It's so much fun. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? And, please don't break your teeth. Because they're probably very bad teeth already. Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. Why can nobody see my top hat? Because it's off screen, that's why. But he didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Some days are like... Wait, what? Some days are like it when you're just up and riding in a carriage and then, oops, you're a part of a murder scene. Some days just be like it when you see someone get killed on the streets. What? I can't! What? What? Hold on. He didn't really... yeah? Do you have something you want to say? You listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment. Are you asking me or telling me? If I happen to see the exact moment of murder, yeah! I happen to see the exact moments of murder all the time. When I'm murdering my friends with their thirsts. That's the moments that I see murder. Y'all know who you are if you're in chat, by the way. I honest to God want to say some days are like that. Oh, damn it! That that's something I forgot. I forgot to get my thirst bottle ready. I gotta get my thirst bottle. I forgot that. I can't believe I forgot that. That's on me. That's on me. And you know what, Cherry? I respect you staying silent as well. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. It's like, some days do be like that. Well, I suppose some days are like that. Sooner or later, you'll see something you wish you hadn't. If you're always peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus... Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Someday, you just witness a murder, yes. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. No, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that, all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Wait, so I actually did choose the right option? By saying some days it do be like that? Holy shit. Okay, let me go get the thirst bottle real quick, because I want to redeem that for Neb while I'm here. Thirst bottle obtained. Hashtag just murder witness things. Hashtag just going to court. Hashtag some days it do be like that. Hashtag London murder day 5. Alright. Neb, I'm going to assume the squirt from the thirst bottle is for all the times that I've been simping and looking at Kazuma. So, it's gonna be for that. Oh god, it's gonna be cold. I know it's gonna be cold. Oh, I didn't even get it up yet. Hold on. There it is. And that was cold. Alright. There you go. Thank you for the points there, Neb. Thank you very much. Onward with, Mr. Fairplay. So, do you think I forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow, we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I had to use it to bring some new facts to light.
If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, The danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful, as they did before.
Maybe. But we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information. Right? Right!
Yes, you're so right.
I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses. Not even a blink!
Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason.
I can't believe it literally was just like, some days do be like that. I can't believe that. I was have 5 pence for the bus. He fiddled us in the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Stuff the man needs to do, I think so. You think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stab? Okay, but here's the thing! If I'm correct, beloved gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. There's a blood stain on the right glove. Alright, I want to press this now. Blood-soaked? Well, perhaps soaked is laying it a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. And you saw that from the roof? Through the skylight? Well, the skylight's reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view. And there was a lamp on inside the carriage as well, so I'm quite sure of what I saw. This banker's latest statement. I feel sure there's something not quite right about it.
When you feel something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruhodo, that's when you should have a good look through the court record.
Alright. I believe I know what I must do here. Damn, I can't believe Numa just said, guess you'll die to M. Savage. Savage flower. Okay. That if I'm correct... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I keep getting ahead of myself! I'm anxious, I'm ready to fight! I'm ready to pounce off this desk! I'm ready to go to the witnesses and say, ah! Ah, your contradictory statement stands, witness! Okay. Okay, I got it this time. No getting ahead of myself. And just because, again, I'm a freaking wuss, I'm going to save. Alright. So if I'm correct, you're saying that his bloody hands were all over the place, when in fact...
Objection!
He was wearing gloves! Blood-soaked. Hands? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick. But, dude, a lot of the stuff you're saying is laying on it a little thick. But anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. Look at that! He's got his boyfriend's sword right there, too! What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh. Yes. Right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Arg! What? Buddy, are you a chipmunk? Are you a squirrel? Are you trying to eat your cane? Hello? In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent! But, no! That can't be right!
So you're the liar here, then? You're the one who scammed dear little old me.
Dude, that's not good for your teeth, just saying. That's right! You were quite clear about it. You said, it was both hands. Oh my god. How strong is this man's teeth? Dude, you're from England in the 1900s. Your teeth should not be that strong. My god. He's bending that thing. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
Oh, he has something to say. It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only one. But the fact remains. What is it with your Kaiba ass looking hand there, my dude, who's just like pointing? What the hell? The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
Objection, Sir Dracula? Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands. Which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Grrrg! You know, I'm not gonna call him Fairplay anymore. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Squirrel. Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My words should be the gold standard. Okay, if you're also a city banker, we shouldn't really trust much of what you say either way. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter sniper. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. Fair play, more like cheat, or even the cheapskate. Oh! He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Pull out the ledger on his ass! Pull out the ledger! Yes! I want to do it so bad right now.
Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely.
Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie to his testimony. I have evidence! My lord! Yes, counsel? The defense is ready to present evidence. But by Jove! Are you sure? Yes. Evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had a reason to lie in his testimony. Ah! Well, very well. I hereby call the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court. Read it and weep. Get your ass out of here, Mr. Squirrel! This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims, crippled by the accused's extortion. Well, you see, among these papers that I have here, the point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? Oh! Well, it's It's barely worthy of being called a debt. And according to this, look at him being so smug. Like, yes, I have your name and all your information right here, Mr. Fairplay. You can't escape my sight. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what's of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Cease to exist?
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fairplay. Is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw? In a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant. Look at that angry face. Look at that angry face. He's just like... I'm a mean lawyer. I can be a mean lawyer if I really want to. Fear my fearsome face. It's a baby face, that's what it is. It's a baby face. Very baby. He's very baby. Oh, here he goes. Out of control. Out of control. Order! 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 Mr. Bruce Fairplay! Yes, my lord! Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Dude, you're gonna gnaw that all the way down to the bone by the end of this trial, just saying. Excuse me. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Be honest, Mr. Banker! Oh, he's not willing to give it up. Your silence speaks volumes, my good man! You did not tell the truth in your testimony! Squirrely coward, squirrely coward. All right, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. Have I been playing the new Horizons DLC? I have not yet. I need to download it, and I need to get back to my island because I have not been on my island for a good year. It needs a cleanup. But I'm very, very excited to get back into the game. I think during this upcoming vacation that I'm going to be having, I'll be playing a lot of the new DLC. For sure. A pinch? Yes, a pinch, but it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands. Both of them.
Objection.
Objection. And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying... Do you have something to say, boy?
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens.
Seeing what?
The blood, sir.
on the assailant's hands. I think... Yes, I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? Oh, God! He got slammed back! Ah! Got direct attack right from a witness. My dude, hope you're okay and you didn't break any backbones. It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Indeed, his life points were attacked almost directly. 2,000 points of damage right from the start. Half his life points are gone. Yes.
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last.
Yeah, it's great! I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Might being the key question. Alright, another witness testimony. What the witnesses really saw. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters.
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream.
Anyway, the fact remains. There can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. I'm telling you, I bet you it was a drive-by. A drive-by carriage murder. Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. Hold on, I got this again. Unless incriminating evidence is sent off to saying I saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. But go off.
Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is currently visible on the seat, corroborating the witnesses' accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case.
Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. Oh boy, what can we do now, everybody? What can we do now? First things first, I'm gonna save, because who knows what way we'll go from here on out. Okay, let's start pressing now. No! The evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the courtroom. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw. But why? Your reasoning is dire. What you say over there, Dracula? One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers. Wow, there was a way with words you had there, Mr. Dracula. I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. Yeah, that does matter, really badly. Don't try to downplay this! Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime, it's a matter of fundamental importance! As well you know! Mr. Banker, you're supposed to know these things. But... for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it! I was just... trying to save us all some time! But again, your loan, sir, of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant. Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? It's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea. Not a guinea pig, but a guinea! Or 10 when I backed the whirring horse in the derby, that's all! I was going to win it all back! There's a fixture this weekend that's a sure thing! Ha! A little guinea or 10? I'm a banker! No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend! Oh! He's not a trustworthy banker at that, though! And the judge catches on! I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir.
This witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness.
Is that really how it's supposed to work? So in terms of other evidence, what we got here is... the gloves, the ledger, the knife, the carriage, this crime scene photo, and the autopsy. We did a whole thorough investigation on the omnibus already. I just want to see if there was anything else we could look at. I think that was it, actually. Yeah, we looked at all of this. Job masters. I still love that. I still love that so much. That's really, really great. Yeah, we looked at that omnibus the last time. I remember.
Hold it!
You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands?
Yes, sir. I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilda's gloves has any signs of blood on it.
That's right!
The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilded sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir.
Okay, no one's reacting. He wasn't wearing these gloves?
That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly.
So did it just bleed through or something? It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. According to this paper that I apparently just summoned,
I should point out the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilded's gloved hands.
There wasn't blood on his hands? This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it.
Hold it!
Scream, you say, yup. You didn't see anything?
Oh, yes, sir, that is to say, actually, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab a man.
Wouldn't you agree, sir? Are you directing your attention at him or over at him? I know what you're insinuating. I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw something isn't right either, is it?
No, sir, I saw nothing at all.
Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses! At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no, baby boy?
What are you talking about, you scallywag?
I'm just trying to make conversation is all. Oh, please, you didn't even see that!
It was so cold at night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my hair was very frozen solid. So sorry to say, sir.
It would seem prudent
to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights.
Hi, I'm back, everybody, and I'm here to say... Mag! Okay, that definitely needs a bit of water after I do that. Okay, last statement. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus? That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh? Why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. Oh! It was locked? That's right! And it's a public bus service, for pity's sake! That's not what I call fair play!
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring! Long and hard! Long and hard indeed! And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed them!
Unequivocal, I could say, and would say.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? They were locked, so I don't think they have not been able to. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. Back to the bus, everybody! Back on the omnibus school bus! You were riding this omnibus, which, congratulations, by the way, everybody, for getting an omnibus this big into a courtroom. Because you won't be able to do this in Japan. And witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. Wait, what portion? Would it be... Okay, if he was looking down, he would have seen everything. The front? Maybe? The back? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. That at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Oh, objection, you say, Dracula. Yeah, sure, slam your own fist down. Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. You basically just canceled out everything you said to me there, Van Zykes. First you insult me, and then you compliment me, so it cancels everything out. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Okay. So, here's my thing. They were sitting up top here. Right over here. And if this guy was looking down, all they could see was this side. Yeah, exactly. If you were looking down here at this section, if you were in this section here, and you were looking down, all you would see this. You'd see this area here. So you definitely would have to lean over and see this back area here in order to essentially see everything else. I think it's there. Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here in red ink. Permanent ink, mind you, so you can't get that stuff off. Ah! That's right, my lord. Ah! As you can see, the seat opposite, the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting, is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat... Ha! It's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. What do you think of that, boys? I shall now slam my hand down. It is quite possible some phantom was sitting there. I'm gonna do my Kaiba hand again and magically wave my wrist around to say, you Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Excuse me, how dare you, sir? I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can I? I don't think I can! I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Okay, those two were on the top. We know, yeah. Alright, so we're looking over now. We know there were two people inside. One was the guy. Okay, hold on. One we know was this guy. This guy was definitely in one of the seats. So we can confirm that. Because that was the driver, and these two were sitting on the roof. This guy was in the seat. But who was next to him is the next question. He's incredibly wealthy, and to defend him as a test of worthiness to become a lawyer. Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Well, you know, I wonder. I'm gonna say I have an inkling. Because I wonder if I can actually present the victim as well. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. You got a second chalice, I see. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard... You know what? I'm gonna put this out too. Cheers to that, bro! To hard lessons not yet learned. I'll clink with you there. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... It was definitely Susato. I think it was Susato who did it. She seems pretty sus. I mean, she even has sus in her name. Person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin was obscured from view. To be honest, I really... I'm gonna just go for it. Because, in all honesty, he was the one who was on the seat.
Take that!
He was the one who was on the seat. Unless I am wrong. Whatever so-called logic you use to arrive at that conclusion, it matters not. Because your answer has made one thing abundantly clear. Was he on the visible seat? Were my eyes lying to me? Maybe my eyes were indeed lying to me. The real blind spot is inside your head. And it appears to be unusually large. You could have just said that's not right. Mr. Naruhodo, our task here is to defend Mr. McGilded. And we are working on the assumption that he is innocent of this crime. Yeah, of course. Why? That must mean, then, that there was someone else inside the omnibus with Mr. McGilded. The true culprit. That's right! Exactly what I've been— Oh! Of course! So the two people sitting inside the cabin that the witnesses saw through the skylight that night... They were the victim and the real culprit.
It does seem as though we've all been making a false assumption.
The witnesses weren't looking at Mr. McGilded at all! Meaning he has to have been sitting somewhere else! Ah, I see. Ah, okay. I had a 50-50 shot. It was either going to be the victim or Mr. McGilded. So, it definitely is Mr. McGilded. Okay, definitely just going to save real quick again. So he was the one that nobody could see.
Take that!
Oh, yep, nope, that makes sense now. That does make sense. The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded.
Mr. McGilded?
What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant!
Objection!
Alright, Dracula! Oh, shit! Well, that's 2 for 2 now! Dude, you almost knocked over... You almost knocked that over! You could have started a fire! Someone confiscate this man's wine, like right here, right now. He doesn't deserve this. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes, you could have burned down my court. This is an outrage! Sorry, but people talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. Man, I really do want to punch this guy in the jaw. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Ah, yes, we did see him then, yep. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
Okay, but objection. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded. You know what? I find it so funny, Numa, that I had to make sure that Nads was permitted for you to use. I find that... Twitch, why you like that? That's not even that bad. At all. Why you like that? It creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. You know, the things we've been talking about. The gloves. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Objection! Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
Follow-up objection, but, the point is... Even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. Ha! In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. So this is fair play. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night. A third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands. Both of them!
Objection!
Damn, we are throwing objections all over the place. That's like your third one right now, Mr. Dracula. And who was this third party? Well, glad you got that back to me, because it obviously was the true culprit. Extraordinary! Order! What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
Jesus Christ, these objections are flying all over the place. Duck your heads, guys. The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. My Kaibahan says the witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But objection, sir! When elaborating on his testimony, as you can see in these papers I have, Mr. Fairplace said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. As you can tell, everybody is wearing a hat in this witness's account. And what particularly styles of hat do the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? Do you know, or can you identify? I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter? Tisk, tisk, tisk on that boy. The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be so sure then, Mr. Dracula? Okay, I like the fact that Ryunosuke is going through Mr. Dracula's throat right now. You go get him, you angry puppy! You go get him! Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused had failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Ah! Good, Ryunosuke? You have a moment to yourself? If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused and Mr. McGilded to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there is some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Huh? Huh? Free will? Free speech? Oh wait, no, this isn't America. Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. That's for sure. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? Again, I must say for prosperity purposes, because I am a wussy. And I want to make sure I have everything right. So, we're gonna hear his testimony. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. I raise my hand like I do in my college classes and say, the defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Oh boy, I get to do the jury's voices all over again, guys. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out here, I say, while I try to pry my knife out. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. And something he's doing! Get it done! That's how I run things at the guild!
Hearing what the patron of my favorite little podcast will say? Oh, yes. that would be lovely.
Yo, no, Cherry, you got a point. Jury number 1 has been acting real sus ever since we started that examination. What's going on with you here, my dude? Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Are y'all ready to hear my Irish accent voice for this man coming up? Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Finally. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? I freaking love this man's hat. I freaking love this guy. This guy just makes me so happy looking at him. Alright. To be sure I have, my lord. There are now 2 matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin, as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal the fact from the police? He's a smiley little old guy. Oh, begat, no, 'tis not my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. So he says, the truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you all, or keep your mouth shut? Wait, tell us what, Mr. McGilded? The fine fella representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true? Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. Wait, so you're just admitting you're an accomplice? You... What?! You helped him get away with murder! What? No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now. Oh, I'm truly sorry. So I am, Lord Van Zykes. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. Yeah, my dude. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was... Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and not in any way involved, you see. Wait, what? Child? Hello? Did a kid commit this? What? Oh, if the police had known the wee one was there. Oh, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. Wait, what? I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. You're saying a child was in there, though? What? Huh. And who was this young child of whom you speak? I bet you can't say. That? Well, I don't know. You don't know? Well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witnesses' statements to be disregarded by the court. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised you'll be saying that there, Mr. Dracula. If the agent isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. Oh? Whoa! Whoa! What? Whoa! What's going on? Whoa! What just... We're at 100% right now, guys. Holy shit, that went from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye! What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape! Secure the omnibus! What the shit is going on right now? Wow! I hereby call an emergency recess! Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom! Okay, who brought the homemade smoke bomb into the court? We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. Jesus heck, that got eventful real fast. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Wow. Hot damn, guys. Hot damn. Yes, please. Wow. Oh, shit. Literally, it's like I enter the courtroom. I set off a smoke bomb. I am removed from the courtroom in that order. Okay, since we have a little bit of a break here, guys, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to go get myself some more water. I'll be back in just a few minutes. I do have to use the bathroom as well, so just give me one moment. I will be back, and then we're going to see what's happened. Hello everybody, I'm back once again, and I brought myself a little snacky in the form of daifuku. I just have to wait until it's not as frozen as it is right now. But I hope everyone else had a little bit of a break of their own, got to stretch, got to get some water, got to get a little snack of their own, and stretch out as well. Because who knows, you probably have been sitting here for a while, watching me spout a bunch of nonsense in weird voices to a bunch of weird characters. So I hope all of you are having a lovely night. And also, thanks for stopping by, everybody. I hope you all are enjoying yourselves. I'm actually going to see if this is enough that I can bite into it. Kinda. It's still frozen, though. Alright, let's get on with the next part of this trial. I can't believe someone decided to smoke bomb Mr. McGilded out of there. But here's the thing. I have this strange feeling. See, this is called the adventure of the runaway room. I have this strange feeling that, that omnibus is not going to be there anymore. I betcha when that smoke bomb went off, something happened to that omnibus. That's my thing, though. Who knows? That's a whole ass carriage you gotta carry out of there. So I got no clue if it's gonna work. If it does, though, to whoever did it, you're really smart. You really know how to get that stuff out there. Alright. We're over in the defendant's antechamber. What on earth just happened in there?
Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened in there.
I've got to get in there! Miss Susato!
I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke.
Smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas have.
They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long.
But who would have done something like that?
The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently.
Yo, who wants to bet that juror number 1 was trying to flee the courtroom? Flee the courtroom? Why? Never mind, it was the young girl.
Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear.
A young girl? And could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about?
My thoughts exactly.
So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here.
I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl.
Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? Good question. She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself?
There's another matter that's troubling me.
What's that?
The 20 pence.
Oh, we're going back to that 20 pence now, I see. Oh. Well, what about it that says in your book?
According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly.
But now it seems there were, in fact, 5 passengers.
Which means the figures don't seem to add up again.
Unless somebody decided to hitch a ride for free. She's right. That is strange. Oh, and in just a blink of an eye, she disappeared. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will commence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. You have a strange accent, but okay, we'll go in straight away.
Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that she's 15, she's a minor, so these things are going to get very, very, very hairy now. Well, no soon enough, Mr. Sato.
Yes!
Yes. Hello? Hello? Okay, gonna say it right now, I love her outfit. Yo, little girl, where do you shop for your clothes? I want the look you got. I love the hat, the handkerchief, the overalls, the sleeves. Dude, I'd wear that. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Zykes.
My lord.
I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier?
It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the
Army? Holy shit. How smart is this 15-year-old girl? Good gracious, the Army? What's in the devil's name?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught, and now occupies the stand.
She looks like like one of those paper boys. Your name, girl? I don't think you're gonna get her to talk. Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in the courtroom? Yeah, you ain't gonna get her to talk, my dude, not at all. What's just the meaning of this deplorable behavior? She's 15! Of course she's gonna be against you, old man.
If I may, my lord.
Yes, Mr. McGilded?
Well, I think perhaps I ought to explain here how it is that this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. 'Tis all tied up with the events of that night, so it is.
Okay. Very well, Mr. McGilded, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. This poor 15-year-old. Ugh, I feel bad for her already. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. No, of course not. The witness testimony. The young girl.
On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at me feet, so I set him up on the seat across from me. And then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and, bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away.
Oh boy. I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather, on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct?
'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was the 5th passenger, my lord.
I love her getup. Look at the leggings she has. The pants. I love the getup. Get me in those clothes, please. Get me in those clothes. Let me be a 1900s paper boy. I would love to see me in that. Absolutely would love to see me. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord, yes. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. Such a confused face. Mr. Buddy over there is not saying anything. Alrighty. Time to press everything now. And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board?
There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either.
You were the first passenger, as it were. I see.
Aye, and that's why I took the back side as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is.
Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? Listen. This is just confirming that even all the way back then, the back seat of the bus is always where it's at. That's where the party is.
By all means, 'tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well.
Yeah, you don't have anything to say there, Mr. Dracula? A loud thud and a wee scream woke up with a fair start.
Hold it!
Okay. A loud thud, you say? And a scream?
Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground, that sort of noise.
So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor, having been stabbed?
Well, now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me up, I opened my eyes. There wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor.
You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream? Ah, from the seats above on the roof deck, I presume?
Not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin.
Was it the girl?
But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes.
Could it have been the girl then?
Hold it!
Interesting. Wait, you set him up? The victim, you mean?
That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said, I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't believe a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you?
Oh my god, his thing with the eye. I can't.
'Tis common courtesy, so it is.
Mr. McGilded, why are you doing that motion again?
Well, I find that a little hard to believe. Ara, Lords
Wait, why did you say Ada? This isn't no Ada here, Mr. McGilded. No.
Now, why would that be? You'll wake up to find a man laying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is.
Oh, you got me there, Mr. Sykes. Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. That means that since one guy said that McGill did and the victim was side by side. Yep. There's a lot of stuff being opened up here now, guys. Cool, man. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest? Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them. And some would even see me dead. Like that grandma over there. Oh, those needles of hers. Please, keep them away from me. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble. Wait, are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there? Oh, heavens alive! No, I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only I had the mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. Whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yes and no. The scream he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing. Bless my soul, what did you find?
Hold it!
I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. Wait, what do you mean by that? Well, now, excuse me. Excuse me again. Well, now, 'tis a queer thing, the wee scream I heard as I woke up. Oh, it came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. What? Do you mean came behind you, or it came down there? Good gracious! Great googly moogly! Under your backside? Oh, under the seat. Oh, got it. And when I lifted the seat on which I had been sitting, I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage. Oh. We gotta look at that omnibus then.
Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the whole bus was... There's evidence. Yeah, we could sure go ahead and look at that then.
This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside.
And that's when I found her. Yep. Time to look. Time to go take a look-see inside this omnibus once again. Get on the inside. The scene of a murder. Let's go on in. Okay, so. Oh. Interesting. Okay. The seat has a handle, it seems. Oh. This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. So that's like that. We've already examined this nice little blood stain on the floor. Yeah, that's blood, isn't it?
Is something wrong?
Oh, it's just, well, this blood stain is so obvious, that's all. And yet Van Zykes has made no mention of it.
I suppose that does seem a little strange.
So he did fall to the floor. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? And I already know about this freaking bloodstain. Right. Yeah, we already learned about this one. I already learned about that. Was there anything else we can look at in here? While I'm in here? We looked at the poster. We looked at the skylights. Yeah, you can't open the skylight from the inside. That's a good thing to note. Huh. Did I check out this bloodstain on the floor before? Was it even there? I think I got everything. So, yeah, I think I got everything. Alright, let's back up then. Let's press for this last stage.
Hold it!
See what we can get. You say she was hiding herself?
Aye, that's right. 'Twas hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well... Oh, me heart nearly stopped beating in me chest.
You're really overreacting to this, my dude.
Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wag with her.
The seat opposite?
That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there.
Why would you put her next to the dead gentleman? McGill did. She was probably in a panic. Why did you put her next to a corpse? My dude! You may be nice, but my god, you're stupid! Why would you do that?
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fellow's voice this time.
Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats.
Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witnesses did not, in fact, see you at all, Mr. McGilded. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was, in fact, this girl and the late Mr. Manson?
Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage, out of sight.
Hot diggity dang. This case is going all over the place. It's certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused, perhaps, with this young girl.
After that, of course,
with... That was dramatic. Why did you need that?
With the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses.
Ah! Thank you. I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my head. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl? Who is that girl I see staring back right at me? Ooh! That's a pretty name. Her name is Gina Lestrand, my lord. Jean is a very pretty name. Very nice. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. So she's a thief! What's commonly called a pickpocketer. What? This girl here, a petty thief? And she rocks the outfit she's got. Order! Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Yeah, you're not gonna get her to talk at all, my dude. Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question! Whoa! What the heck? Why did you shoot smoke at him? How dare you? What is the meaning of this? Oh. And she's gone. Alright. You don't know if it's Lestrade or Lestrade. But I always say Lestrade. Okay, Lestrade. Lestrade. Okay. Lestrade, Lestrade. For me, I'd probably go with Lestrade. The girl, she's gone! Open your eyes! I'm Gina. I'm over here. Oh, I love her attitude already. I love her already. She has blue eyes. I love her already. I love her so much already. Good gracious! How? Oh, you just gave me a good idea, CB. I might try a Scottish accent with her then. I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on, that's what's in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all! This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth. Oh my god, he got smoked out too. I love she has a smoke grenade. Why not give the 15-year-old a smoke grenade? Oh! Oh, look at you. Aren't you fancy schmancy with that coin flip? I love her. I love her so much, guys. I have not known Gina for all of 5 minutes, but if anything happened to her, I would kill everybody in this chat, and then I myself. I love her. I love her so much already. Look! Knives are for cowards! Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Oh my freaking god, she's great. I love her so much. Let me guess? You don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs. Hold up. Hold the phone. Hey! Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Next time I see you, I got a few questions for you. My dude? I got a few questions to ask you. More like a lot of questions to ask you. Oh, this? Yeah, this was in a bag lifted the other day down where they keep the four-wheeled drags. Wait! Are you saying you stole that from the detective? Oh, did she actually steal that from the detective? Oh my god. Did you stole from Herlock Sholmes? Oh my god. It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best. Do not wave that thing in my direction again! Please break a third one! Please break a third one! I beg you, Dracula! So,
You admit that you were riding the omnibus on that night in question?
She looks one glance at Zykes, and she's like, oh, I ain't touching that. I do not want to be involved with that.
'Tis alright, lass. You can tell them the truth now.
Yeah, Gina?
Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said.
Well, the courts accept this girl, Miss Gina Lestranded, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please.
Okay, but what if I don't want to?
You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question.
Okay, but what if I don't want to? Alright. If I have to.
I love her to pieces, chat. I love her to pieces. Absolutely. Good Daifuku. Very good Daifuku.
So I snuck inside the garage before they hooked up the horses just like always. Oh yeah. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to share for me troubles that night. I'll tell ya, you can't see a blind thing at that hiding place. It's pitch in there. And then after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped up me skin I did. And the scream just came out. It's because of that this swell found me. He did help me get away, mind.
God, I love it. Yes, he let you go. Well, I fail to understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord.
I gotta say, and I gotta hand it to Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, you're giving me some really good training and practice using different accents. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity here.
You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact.
How?
As I'm sure I said before, sir. In the bus itself, I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself.
I think a demonstration is called for.
This is where I was sat that night. And the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath this seat.
Oh, and the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath this seat, I presume? Shebang! Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature.
Aye, but of course the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I'd parked myself on the seat for the duration.
So she was planning to escape, but then McGilded said, "Oh, I'm going to take this nice seat right here," and
just like that. So you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent.
Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question?
Not at all, my lord. Not at all.
Why do you keep going to juror number 1, Camera? I wonder if the first juror is really hiding something. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So, I thought, it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass.
My goodness! Oh, what a perfect gentleman!
My lord! This fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this! I'm... Oh, shit! Oh, we got... Oh, we just need one more. Oh, we just need one more. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Oh, shit! Hot damn! Innocent! Innocent! Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to the verdict of not guilty? Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Mr. Naruhodo, this... Well, it must mean...
It must mean what?
That we're victorious!
We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
What in the world? What the... Why? Hey, if you think I'm gonna be cleaning your boot, there's no way in hell I'm doing that, you asshole. Get your foot off the fine wooden desk! Why? Why? I mean, that's a nice leg you got there, but why? I can't... He literally just said, please, everybody, look at my adoring ironed-heeled Wellington boots! If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray, do forgive the discourtesy. You went from throwing your glass around to now lounging on the desk. My dude, my man, what is wrong with you? Gino? Just leg! There's just a leg on the desk! Why? Why? My dude, why? Oh my god. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Sir, can you please just put your leg off the desk? Or if your leg is on the desk, can I put up my leg? You just see Naruhodo trying to put his leg up, but he's unsuccessful. Damn, bro, how flexible are you, though? Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? Oh, and look, it's just gone, just like that. The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. Wait, what do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. As you can see by this random scroll that I'm holding up, the compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. The white is a little bit invisible to see considering the paper is white, but it is there, trust me. Good Lord! The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilder's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. Ouch! That sounded like it hurts, Naruhodo! Another direct hit onto his life points. 1,000 damage. Done and gone. Order! Order! How could such a devious contraband possibly have been affected, Council? Stance. Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the Oh, jeez. Big words. Hold on. Big words. We must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. Got it. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Wait! Did she take out his belongings in the smoke? Well, my Nipponese friend. Me? Talking to me? Huh? Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtlessly you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Oh, shit. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead. You tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zykes. Sure! Shit. Well, Counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? Let me go to my void for a second, everybody. How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat of the omnibus? I genuinely don't remember. I genuinely don't remember. If I log it, I don't think I did. Oh, I feel like I made a bad mistake here. I can't remember if I did. It's been a while since the last stream. There definitely was. Okay. I'm relying on you, chat, because my memory on this is shit right now. I'm gonna believe you, CB, because I definitely know you were here. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. But as far as I remember, at least, when I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it. Yes. Are you sure, Counsel? I be wished. What are you saying now, you daft dog? I thought you were on my side here. Listen, man, I just don't remember. Yeah, Van Zyke, sure. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? I don't know. But as the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Oh boy! Interesting. 'Tis not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. Hefella's memory is a curious thing, and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the Dera's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest not to admit that you might have been mistaken? Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. He takes a sip of his alcohol and he said, "The department is designed to house equipment to use to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The old rule states that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that he was responsible. That money-letting police are on the Beppo's are lying. Oh, God! Oh, God! I can't believe I was nearly taken in! A steak and rich are always stakers, nothing but cowards, the lot of them! What? Oh no. It's a trick, of course it's a trick! Dear freaking... Are we gonna be going back and forth here now? Oh shit. Quite so, I must concur here. Oh my god. Is that, yeah, with all of you? With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. God, you freaking exasperated Jester Van Sykes. I can't even with you. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is a matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Yeah? Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Oh boy. Oh, Reaper man! Reaper man! Oh, freaking boy. Oh, freaking boy. Okie dokie, time to go consult the girl. Oh god, okay. Time to, like, press everything now.
Hold it!
So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a room idea, isn't it? I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants. Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman does divide. And 1 little scapegrace riding for free. The red cock of the driver always goes to some grub before his last run, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself eaten under the seat. Nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment. Full of equipment for the coach, no? I have known it. I don't have an answer for you. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck out all that and climb in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. It seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue. Post haste!
Hold it!
Alright, hold it! A waste of time? Why is that? Well, most nights I'm on me own and got permit at least of the time. Beg your pardon? What? Did you say got permit? Oh yeah! Well, that's what my guide call it. You say the omnibus, I suppose. The point is, I need no more run. The garage had got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away? That's it? Only that night. Ay. This call was set on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck. Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin? Yeah. Right, mister? Oh, to be sure, to be sure. I was as shocked as any run. You don't expect to let the cushion you've been sat on and by the child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrated couldn't possibly be the culprit then. Yeah, no, there's no way a 15-year-old girl can do this. Really. Absolutely no idea.
Hold it!
No way. Please, don't blame it on her. So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all? Not the door. Most days I push the cushion up, we'd made it, and look out the cracker. Then I can have a butcher set too. I'm gonna fiddle. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get there ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers block themselves opposite. But for some reason at night, this here Irishman spit the whole journey right over me head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out. I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. It's too much like being thrown into the Glinko. But it's the only place to hide in them garages, so it's Hobson's choice. Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to stick out under there. Nothing else for me. What do it? You hear this loud bang, nearly jumped down on me skin.
Hold it!
Pressing, pressing, pressing! When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream. Involuntarily? That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me head to get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim. Yes. No, he says. Not he says. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment? Oh! Yeah. I saw it.
pushed up the cushion and had a quick butchers while I had the chance. Didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up on the block, what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite her. Alright, Stevie, you have yourself a good night. Thanks for stopping by. That matches Mr. McGilded's account, of course. But then, the fellow suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have asked for this looking.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGilded discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? Oh, I was scared stiff I was. He dragged me out and set me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Manson? Ah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carrot lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me.
Oh my god, an actual corpse falling onto you. No thank you.
Oh, how awful. Both of me hands got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog.
Both your hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passenger saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while. Is that correct?
He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know me name and what I was up to and what and that. Then I heard something from up above. Someone screamed.
Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume.
Well, I didn't want no one seeing me face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up snottish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back onto the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent.
For one brief shining moment, yes. One relieving moment, yes.
It's clear that they are all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want.
Yes, I think you're right.
And I have this niggling feeling.
Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Alrighty, guys. Unfortunately, I think that's where we're gonna end up having things end for the night here. Before we get into a lot of other plot and a lot of other story, I'm gonna wrap things up here. Mainly because I have stuff that still needs to get packed, and I'm leaving tomorrow for, funny enough, another vacation. So, to that end, I know I told you guys in the Discord, but I'm gonna tell you guys here as well. All next week, there's gonna be no streams. I'm going to be away for the vacation, and I will be returning on the 21st. However, starting that week, the last week in November, is when I start my new job. So, depending on the hours of the job and what happens, there might be some, I want to say some changes to the stream schedules. I'm not too sure yet. Like I said, it all depends on what my hours are for the job. But I can guarantee you this, even though I'm going to be going back into the job business, I am definitely going to try to keep up the streams as best as I can. It might not be on the 4 days that I usually stream, but it definitely will happen at the very least once a week. Or twice. I don't know. Like I said, until I get my schedule and know what my hours are, I'm in the dark at the moment. So, I want to thank you all for coming along, for joining the stream, for supporting the stream in any way, shape, or form possible. And if you haven't already, to those new to the stream or to those who have been here for a while, consider joining the Discord community. You get updates there about the streams, you can talk with a few chatters of theirs. It's a nice little community that we got. And I really would love to see it grow if we could. So to that end, let me see if I can send you over to... I think I'll end things here for the night. I'll let you guys off here. So, I hope everyone has a good rest of their week. And I hope everybody has a great week next week. Until I see you guys again, which is hopefully, cross your fingers, in 2 weeks' time. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water as well, because you are a living plant. And have a good night as well, everybody. Bye-bye!